Okay, I told you he was coming. Healthcare. You've been a part of it now. You've got to win. We've all got to win now. We'll be in trouble if we don't. So Mark Hatcher, CEO and benefits expert at Enginuity HR. He was here in December. He talked about what was going on right when they were having a lot of website problems. So Mark is back to tell us, hey, have those things improved? What's going on? What's good and bad? And what can we expect this year? Mark, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, man, good to see you in person.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, so what, in your professional opinion, because you work with companies and you've been working with companies, what, 30 years or something doing this stuff?
Yep.
So now, how have you seen the process and this health care, the Obamacare, Affordable Care Act, how has it gone the last 3 months? Have there been improvements into what the system and what we're dealing with?
Well, I think it's too early to tell. I mean, I think we're sitting on a beginning precipice of what is it going to look like as this thing rolls out in the first part of this year, coming up to the required individual mandate of March 31st before people have to enroll. And the question's going to be is what are the premiums looking like, and are people actually saving money? That's the key. Are people seeing increases in premiums? Yes. Are people seeing decreases in premium? Yeah, for some of them they are. But the net effect is we're a little bit too early to determine whether or not the really true, I guess, objectives of what this is supposed to do, which is to provide affordable health care,
right,
is really going to be affordable.
Yeah. So did you see anything? Were you able to catch the State of the Union at all?
Yes.
Okay. So did you, because he mentioned some things about there that definitely talked about, one of the things was get your parents to make sure they get on this. He was like encouraging everybody. Do you think, and you mentioned this last time in December, hey, if the young kids don't get on this, it's not going to work. Do you think it was in the State of the Union, did he address some of those concerns and make some steps in the right direction to make sure that the youth get more involved in this?
Well, I mean, if you've seen the TV commercials coming out, it's all driven to the young people.
Yep.
Because it's real simple. The people that were coming on in December for January 1, there were one of two people, or one of three. It's the people that were losing coverage because their insurance company was completely getting out of the market, and they had to acquire coverage. You had the people that were coming on because, number two, they were getting subsidies, and they were going to get their insurance for a much discounted rate or potentially free. And then the last is the people that have been declined for individual coverage because of their health conditions. And in the state of Texas, if an insurance company wants to decline you, they can. And so you had a ton of people coming on January 1 that weren't the healthy people pouring in. So what you got is a discrepancy, a very high-risk pool. Yeah. So that's why it's driven towards the young people.
Okay, you're listening to Tuttle Talk. When we come back, we're going to stay with Mark, and actually Gabe has a question. He's a business owner, and he has a question for Mark, and we have a couple more about some of the specifics about how this is going to affect you, the employer, you, the employee out there in 2014 and beyond. So stay with us. And we're back. Welcome back, Dallas. You are listening to Tuttle Talk here on the Real Estate Radio Network. Gabe, owner of Utility Concierge, such a smart guy, does such a great thing for homeowners in the community. He tried to cut my mic off just then. That, sir, is rude.
Well, that's how you control your studio.
It's not your studio. First of all, it's mine, and it's Mark's show right now. We're going to actually talk about some helpful stuff for people. Mark Hatcher.
I had a question for him last segment. I wanted to ask him, but
I'm going to let you ask him.
Air.
We're going to let you ask him. We wait till the break for you to ask questions. So Mark Hatcher is back here.
It's America, buddy.
It's America. Right. He's the CEO and benefits expert over at Enginuity HR, and we are talking about healthcare and what's good and what's bad and what's going on this year. And so, Mark, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
All right, Gabe, go ahead. Ask your question.
I have a question?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Actually, my mic's off. It's awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you.
Thanks, Dan.
Oh, no, there you are.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I mean, you had your chance. So anyway, Mark.
Hurts, Dan.
Okay.
It's brutal.
Dan, our production director.
Dan, you cut me deep, buddy.
Help me out here. I love it. He's on my side. Okay, Gabe, go ahead.
Well, so we don't have 49 employees, but we do have some contractors that we work with. So I know in other countries that this wonderful healthcare plan has been implemented. There's been workarounds, but how's that work here in the great United States with this awesome healthcare plan? if we have over 49 people that do workforce, is that both employees and contractors combined?
Well, it's, you got to, and the final regulations haven't poured out yet. So we're kind of in that waiting game to see exactly how we're going to develop this the closer we get to the 2015 mandate. But the reality is that the Health and Human Services, tied in with the Department of Labor, tied in with the state agencies, are seeing this as an opportunity. And let me tell you where the opportunity is because a lot of employers are going to be trying to figure out how to stay under this 50 mark.
Right.
Whether it's establishing another company, pouring them into it, or looking at a situation like yours where you have W-2 employees and you got contractors. And they're looking at it from the 1099 standpoint and saying, are these really 1099 employees or are they truly, really employees of your company? And if they are...
That's interesting because in our industry, there's been a lot of contact with TWC or the Department of Labor, and they're actually auditing quite a bit of companies that have contractors that work for them, and it's actually been a big issue in our industry.
So with your stuff, though, real quick to dig one more quick on that. So you have, you work with the internet, cable, security, phone, all that kind of stuff, and set that up for the homeowners. So you really are, aren't they all major league contractors? There are whole other companies that you're dealing with there.
Yeah, just our satellite partner is, in the satellite industry, there's been a lot of crackdown from, it used to be the Department of Labor, the TWC, but this year it's been the Department of Labor. And they're trying to really outline what's a contractor and what's an employee. And the industry in the satellite installation world, they've always been contractors. And in my opinion, I don't think the industry could survive if they weren't contractors.
Right. Hey, Mark, do you know any at all? Did the website improve? Has it gotten its kinks out? Because I've heard some different stories on this.
Yeah, they got. I think they've gotten it to the point where people can actually go on and enroll and figure out they're going to get a subsidy and so forth. They have actually taken off the small employer portion of it, where small employers under 50 lives can go in and quote just because of the glitches with it.
Right.
So we'll see if that pours in here later this year.
Right. So coming forward this year, as all the dust continues to settle, and we, like you say, it just hadn't been long enough to find out if this is going to work or is working. What are some of the points that mainly the employer, because we have a lot of business owners that listen to this show, where are some of the points that they need to be having their red flags up or their radars up to watch out for?
Yeah, but what we're seeing, and because we're more or less an HR outsourcing firm, we're seeing a lot of employers really more concerned about what Gabe said. It's the DOL audits stepping up because they see a revenue stream there. It's the TEC, Texas Unemployment Commission, really starting to really drill down on who are your employees, what type of employees. And so I think what is going to happen as we go along is that we're going to see where the mandates are coming out, meaning we do payroll, we do HR compliance, we do benefits and so forth. So the key is that when an employer is looking at this, what are going to be the requirements they're going to have to do? What's going to happen here coming up? What are they going to have to file? What are they going to determine whether they have full-time employees, part-time employees, and are they going to be subject to the $2,000 or $3,000 fine? Those are the things that employers need to look out for, and that's the stuff that we're seeing a big uptake in request and what we need to do.
So, Mark, if a company is in that situation, a business owner is there and he's like, holy crud, I'm way behind on this. I haven't really checked into this and I don't know what to do. Can they just get in touch with you?
Yeah, they should just reach out to us. They can either come to our website at ingenuityhr.com. That's with an E. That's correct. Or they can just give us a call at our office at 972-982-2386.
Okay. And so, guys, if you didn't catch that, if you missed that, you can always go to our fan page. We'll have Mark's information on there. And, of course, you can always just text us if you want. The same number you always get, 469-319-0660. We'll connect you with Mark. Just let us know, and we'll make sure you're in good shape there because this guy knows what he's doing. And you need to be running your business, and this kind of stuff can be a drag on you, but it's got to be dealt with, or it can ruin your business. But that's why outsourcing. Hey, think like the rich do, man. You outsource. Hey, come on, get it done. It's like if your hourly rate is probably not best spent, your highest and best use is probably not spent working on this stuff. Let a professional and an expert do it. That'll make sure you're protected and that cares and has a competency to do it. So, Mark, thanks so much for coming on the show, man.
You bet. Thank you.
You bet. We'll keep you coming back, man. I like this kind of discussion.
This is fun.
I don't know if any of you guys do, but I do. I think it's very interesting. So we'll see. All right. That's it for today's show here on Tuttle Talk. Thank you for joining us for this hour. I hope you have taken some notes. If you missed any of the show, want to get feedback on it, remember, go to andytuttle.com. We'll take care of you there. You can catch all past shows, this show in its entirety, always there. And also remember, you can go and to bootcampaign.com. I really forget to push that, but man, go get your boots on. Go buy some military boots, support the charity. We love to do it. We'll be wearing it next Friday. We'll be wearing our boots.
That's right.
To bring awareness to that, so you can wear those with us and post those pictures on Facebook. I'd like to thank all my expert contributors for the show. I'd like to thank Gabe for always being my punching bag. Thank you to Mark. Thanks to Jason Browning for coming and bringing in some of your expertise today. And, of course, Brian Moore, my show producer, and Dan Bradford, our production director, and the entire family here at 660 AM The Answer. That's it for today's show. Thank you for listening to Tuttle Talk, where we're making financial intelligence a priority in the community. Have a great weekend.